Hello, this is Danny. Welcome to a whole nother awesome review. That's right, I'm back on YouTube doing another review. Just got done reviewing Wolf Creek Season 1 with my good friend JT is Reborn. We'll be reviewing Wolf Creek Season 2 with my good friend JT is Reborn for Epic Horror Fans. That's my second channel. Check it out. I actually saw this movie because we did a bet. I normally don't review shark movies. That's not really my thing. But he said if I reviewed this movie, we would review Wolf Creek Season 2 for Epic Horror Fans. So I've seen quite a few shark movies, I gotta say. I've seen Deep Blue Sea. I've seen Jaws 1 and 2. I've seen parts of 3. Haven't seen it entirely. Very terrible movie. But I was I didn't know if I was going to like this movie because I don't normally like these types of movies. I didn't like Piranha or Piranha 3 Double D or whatever it's called. I really hated that movie. I like movies that are funny, but they're not over the top funny, like they're trying to be funny. And this movie I really enjoyed because it had comedy elements in it, but it took itself seriously. And sometimes I think the best movies are the movies that take themselves very seriously, but the comedy comes out of situations rather than just, David Hasselhoff as a lifeguard, being there when people eat when piranhas eat people. I mean, that's just dumb to me. Like, I like actual funny situations, and that's what this movie had. Meg was surprisingly a good movie. I thought I was going to hate this movie, and I ended up actually really enjoying it. If I was going to rate this movie out of 10, I give it an 8 out of 10. The thing that I really liked about it was Jason Statham versus a shark. Jason Statham versus the shark. And that's what I liked about it. You don't normally see Jason in this type of movie. It's more of an action movies that he does. He doesn't really do shark movies, and this was totally different for him, And he was really good in this movie. I really liked him in this movie. I thought it was fantastic. So, things that I really liked about this movie, like, we start with the movie with them exploring the depths of the water, a bunch of scientists checking out, unexplored territory. And, of course, we find out that there is a megalodon on the bottom of the ocean that we didn't know about. But, So, and it's not just one Meg in this movie, it's a bunch of Megs, which is very interesting because you wouldn't expect that. But there is a bunch of Megalodons in this movie. And that's what I really liked about it, because it was very unexpected. You didn't know when the Megalodons were going to show up and how many there was. But there's way more than one, which I thought was cool. Because that was unexpected to me. Because you get to a point in the movie where you're like, is the Meg really dead? And then a Meg comes up and eats another shark just right out of there, There's so many good scenes in this movie that I really like. There's some really unintentionally funny moments. One of the people that they couldn't save was this guy named Toshi. And he was on the submarine, and Jason Statham couldn't save him. And he gets eaten by the shark. And when the shark comes at him, he's like, oh! And he's like, it's really funny. It was really funny to me because it was like a sacrifice thing, and the shark was going to eat him. So it's like every cheesy action movie where somebody sacrifices themselves and they're like, yeah, you know what I mean? And yeah, I thought that was really fun. I don't know. I it's weird because I find things that should be dramatic funny sometimes. I don't know if you guys do that, but I do that quite a bit. There'll be a real serious scene which I find hilarious, and yeah, that's what I love about this movie. Sometimes it's unintentionally funny, the serious situations, And another character I really liked was the DJ, who is this black guy, and he can't swim, and he's like a scientist on doing research and everything, and he doesn't know how to swim. And I thought that was really cool that he didn't know how to swim, because I find that very funny, because there's no way they would let this guy on a boat if he can't swim, and he's doing all this research in the middle of the ocean. It's not going to happen. These people are going to be required to swim, but he can't swim. So I thought that was really funny. There's this really great scene where everybody is out on their floaties, okay, and there's like a lot of people, and there's this one guy, and he's going around, and you know like those things that where you're in like a ball for mines, and he's going over like he's a freaking hamster on the water, and the Megalodon is coming right after him, and he's like running as fast as he can to get away from the Megalodon, and the Megalodon just comes and crushes him when he's in that ball like a hamster. I thought that was pretty sweet. That was a very good shot. It was well filmed, and it was like, it wasn't like Piranha where they're like pushing it so much that it's ridiculously stupid, because like everybody in the Piranha movies are like, well, the new Piranha movies, like the Piranha remake and Piranha 3 Double D, like they're so dumb. But in this movie, these people aren't as dumb. I mean, they do some dumb things, but like they're not as stupid as those people, basically. It's a little bit more realistic, but it's still dumb. You know what I mean? It's a less of a dumb level. But yeah, if I was to rate this out of 10, I would give it an 8. I can't give it a 10 out of 10 because I did see this movie in 3D, and the 3D wasn't that great. It was okay. So I'm going to have to take off a point for that, and it's not the best shark movie I've ever seen, so I'm taking a point off of that. My favorite shark movie, it has to be Jaws, and I give that movie a 10 out of 10. I love that movie. It's a brilliant script. This movie has serious moments, but it's also mixed in with comedy. And, I think Jaws did that in a little bit better way, because Jaws was more realistic, where this is over the top. But, I mean, it's about a megalodon, a bunch of megalodons. So, this creature doesn't even, isn't even alive anymore. So, it's going to be a little bit over the top, right? But I'm still giving it 8 out of 10 because I really did enjoy the movie. And it really did have some really satisfying deaths in the movie. It was really good. And there's a part where they think they killed the Megalodon and they're trying to blow it up. And they blow up a whale, which I thought was a really cool scene. And they're like, the whale doesn't have any teeth. And the guy that's in charge of it, that's trying to kill the Megalodon, he's in the boat and he falls off the boat and he gets on top of the whale, and then the Megalodon comes out of nowhere and just eats him while he's on the whale. I thought that was a really cool scene too. There's a lot of really cool scenes in this movie, and the CGI is actually really good, unlike Piranha and Piranha Double D, which is just horrible CGI. There's some scenes in this movie that actually do look very conventionally real. I mean, there's some scenes where you're just like, ugh, that's bad CGI. But there's some scenes where you legitly, it's really good CGI. And the best scenes with the CGI is when you don't see the entire shark. It's like you see the shark on the top of the water. That was filmed really good, because the way they matched it up with the CGI and with some, I guess they used some practical effects too, and they mixed it in with CGI, it looked pretty realistic. But the scenes where it's underwater, where you can see the whole shark, that's where it's not as realistic or convincing. But when you can barely see the shark, that's when, that's when the CGI is actually really good. And there are some legitimate moments in this movie that will make you jump, where you don't see the shark coming and he comes out of the water, just like Jaws, because Jaws has moments like that too. And I thought that was really cool. I mean, I haven't seen a shark movie that I actually enjoyed since Jaws. I hated Deep Blue Sea. I think it's a terrible movie. I think that Jaws 2 wasn't that good. I really like Jaws 1, and Jaws 3 is just absolutely horrible. So, if I was to rank this in shark movies that I have seen, I would say that this is definitely my second favorite shark movie that I've seen. And that's pretty impressive because I haven't seen that many impressive shark movies. Now, I'm not saying that I watched a lot of shark movies because I have seen quite a few, but not that many. And I like that this movie kept the seriousness of a shark film, but also had some fun moments, especially with that dog swimming in the water, Pippin. That dog was cool. Okay, I really liked that dog. He had a lot of charisma in the water, and I like the fact that I'm spoiler alert. He survives. Okay. And he's just swimming on the water, having a ball. He knows when to get away from the shark, unlike the people, you know what I'm saying? And Pippin, that dog, he comes back, and you know he's going to be okay. And he's just an hilarious dog. That dog was one of the best things in that movie. I got to say, Pippin stole the show. Like, if Pippin wasn't in that movie, I probably would have given it a 7 out of 10. But I'm giving it an 8 because that dog was cool. I mean, it's one of the coolest scenes I've seen in a shark movie for a long time. A little dog swimming in the water from a gigantic shark. That is some good comedy right there. And, yeah, it kept me on the edge of my seat and engaged with the movie. And I did really like the characters, like Jason Statham's character and DJ. He was really good, and I really liked the movie. I gotta say, like, I'm gonna give the movie an 8 out of 10 because I did enjoy it. And yeah, there was a lot of cool scenes. There was Jason Statham's killing quite a few megalodon sharks in this movie. He has to infect one of the sharks with this poison, that he has to do with this spear gun, and I thought that was cool. And he also has to put a tracking device on one of the megalodon sharks so he can track it. And he goes out into the ocean and he puts it on the shark, and then the shark comes towards him to eat him, and they have to reel him in, and he's like going super fast trying to get out before the megalodon shark eats him. And I thought that was a really cool scene, a lot of intensity in this film, and I haven't seen that intensity in a shark film since the original Jaws, actually. And I'm actually surprised that I enjoyed this movie, because I wouldn't have saw this movie if JT is Reborn didn't make that deal with me for Wolf Creek Season 2, which we're going to view on Epic Horror Fans. I wouldn't have saw this movie because I thought the trailer was absolute garbage, horrible. And the trailer doesn't do this movie justice because it doesn't show any of the cool scenes from the movie that are super intense. It just advertises it like a stupid popcorn flick, which it kind of is, but it doesn't really show the best scenes. Although the trailer did show Pippin the dog swimming around, who was one of my favorite characters in the movie. And that's actually one of the reasons why I went to the movie, because I wanted to see that little Pippin dog swimming around, and he was totally worth it. That dog is amazing, and if there was a category for dogs winning awards, that dog should win something. Because I haven't seen that good of acting in a long time from a dog swimming from a shark. So anyways, I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. I'm going to say go see it. This is definitely a fun summer movie to go see. And if you like shark movies, you're going to love this film. So 8 out of 10. And stay tuned. Check out my other channel, Epic Horror Fans, because I'm going to be reviewing Wolf Creek Season 2. And I already reviewed Wolf Creek Season 1 on there. So please go check out my other channel. Subscribe to it. JT is Reborn and myself are going to be reviewing Wolf Creek Season 2. So please subscribe to that. And that's one of the reasons why I did this video. Okay? So please check that out. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video and have an awesome night.